God darn it. I don't know what to tell you. I do not know what to tell you. I'm trying. Hello, Alacanada. Hello, Idaho Garden Girl, KP Heathen. I am jacked up right now. Yeah, I went and I went back on. God darn it. I went back to my iPad and my phone, which I'm using right now. I'm very upset because I had the thing set. So yesterday, I'm doing my iStream, I'm doing my live stream on my laptop, and about 20 minutes into it, I guess it crashed. And then all you could see is the chat. I don't know what happened. And when I got all jacked up. And I worked on it trying to figure out what I needed to do for probably 30 minutes. So when I got it ended, it said that there had been a problem and it wanted to send a report to Apple. So I've said okay. And I rebooted, I restarted and whole damn thing, my computer. And I programmed it all in today. And I started it about 15 minutes early again. And the only thing that, it would show me my picture in a suit. And the text was scrolling, but it wasn't live. Now, I saw live. The way I am right now, I saw it live. But when I looked at it on my iPad, which I was going to use to see the text, because I'm blind, because I really can't see that text, it was just me in a suit, but the text was scrolling. Did the same thing. I looked at it. I said, well, let me look at it, on a different channel on my phone, and I did. And again, it showed me in my suit, and then it just showed the text. So I don't know. I truly do not know. Hello, Hostile Cowboy. Hello, Melinda Elliott, Alacanada, Uncle Al, Idaho Garden Girl, Little Lone Prepper. Hello, everybody. If I'm KP Heathen, if I missed anybody, God bless you. I apologize. My friend Yoda was on. Dave. I guess he gave up the ghost on me. He's got other things to do, I'm sure. So today I went over, had an appointment at 11 o'clock, and I signed for a loan to buy my trailer. They sent, the bank sent a draft or whatever over to the RV dealership, the trailer dealership. And rebooted by a technician. Well, I am going to take it to work Tuesday and let my young paraprofessional that's very good with technology look at it. Anyway, if I'm going to be having problems like this all the time, I'm probably just going to go back to using, and I'm sorry if I'm mirrored, I'm sorry if I'm mirrored. If you think this is my left hand, it's my right. And if it's showing it's 5:10, it's actually 7:10. So, hello, Jones. So anyway, I was over at the RV dealership at 1 o'clock with the wife. My daughter showed up, signed the paperwork. I'm now the proud owner of an RV or a trailer, what do you want to call it. I will do some video of it. My wife shot some real good stuff the other day, and she's going to send. I never got it. I guess I have to get a hold of her phone and send it to me. But I did take an image of the outside of it, walking around the outside when I went over. So they reportedly had it prepped up, and then they didn't have the tow package on it, and they didn't have the TV mounted, and there were some things that they had to do. And about 3:30, we pulled out, got home, and cussed for about 15-20 minutes trying to get the damn thing lined up where we want it to on our driveway, because I can't put it in the backyard. It's 9 feet wide. I don't think I'd get it through the gate, and then I got a tree and all. Now my 5-foot trailer, we can get it through, and we got a little bit to spare on either side. So I'm basically gonna park it on the driveway for now, till I figure out what I'm gonna do. Probably going to do some replacement fencing and replacement gating, but it is what it is. Hello, Lady M. Thank you for coming. And I didn't eat lunch, so I have been eating a steak. I made Black Angus steaks last night. We didn't eat them, so I put them in an air fryer this evening. I made a pot of rice, which I'm eating rice, and I'm drinking Milo tea, sweet tea, Milo sweet tea. This is lunch. Hello, Bud Files. Hello, Alacaneda. So Uncle Al was talking about the long knives, April the 19th. The left, socialist, communist, anarchist, BLM, Antifa, all of your usual nut types are just losing their minds and raising Cain because they have nothing better to do and they can't really influence anything. The courts are starting to support the president and the new administration, the Supreme Court. All they have is disrupt. That's all they can do, is try to disrupt. That chaos and disruption. It's all they can do. And, like they're in rebellion. It was like the start of the Civil War back in the, late 1850s and, right on up to the start of, the first firing at Fort Sumter. Some of these blue state governors, senators and such, I mean, they're just absolutely stupid. My apologies for anybody who, and I am wearing blue, but I'm red pilled. So, Uncle Al. I don't know. I'm tired. It's been a day. I've been getting lots of views. I'm above my normal. I've been putting out some good shorts, prepping type stuff, preparedness, water, gasoline, eggs, need to put out toilet paper. You know, you got a trailer, those, you got to use special toilet paper, that special biodegradable toilet paper. The rolls are real thin. You know, like you're going to roll about this big around, real thin little roll. Probably get 2 or 3 uses out of it. You know, it's like, oh, where's the next roll? I'm eating a black Angus steak. This is my lunch. I made steaks last night. I like to grill. I grilled steaks last night. We didn't eat them. And I put them in the fridge. Then I put them in the air fryer. Zapped them in the air fryer. I made a pot of rice. I'll have a big spread tomorrow for Easter. Yes, septic safe. You got to have septic safe, Enrique. So Joseph is very excited. He sent me a picture of him and the missus. It's like, I look forward to your next video. Well, my next video is you. You know, I did part of it. I just got to finish it. Then I got to put all the voodoo in it, you know, and then I'll upload it. And I'm doing a follow-up where I'm retaliating against him. And then remember, guys, if you want to be in my 1,900 subscriber giveaway, and I'm like 13 short right now, could happen any time because I just picked up a bunch today. If you want to be in my Sam's brand is septic safe, well, that's good. Yeah, it did not come with a consumption grade water hose. I got to go get a white water hose, the kinds for a trailer. And it did not come with the septic line that you would plug into your black tank and then plug into wherever you're. Didn't come with that. I got to get that. And just got to play with everything. I did not like the fact that it came with a deep cycle battery. I'm planning on getting to the point where I'm going to figure out how to install, and I want to do it in such a way that I don't get them stolen. So I have to find some way to install them where I can secure them. I want to install 2 lithium iron 100 amp hour lithium iron batteries. Did not come with an inverter, so I have to have an inverter installed. And what an inverter does is it allows you to use your batteries to create 110 voltage, so you're not plugged into a landline. The water heater, the stove, the heater will run on propane. In order to use the air conditioner, you got basically plugged into a landline, and then the lighting is 12 volt. So, you know, it is what it is. Hello, Little Prepper. If I missed anybody saying hello, I apologize. Holly Ivans. And Enrique, it's 30 amp. It's a 30 amp. The 30 amp cord has a pullout. It's like a pullout that you can go and plug into your shoreline. So that's nice. I like that. I like that part of it. But I'm going to have to. There's still some stuff I have to do with it, and it'll be a month before we take it camping. So I have weekend time to do it. And I apologize for, you've never seen me eat on a stream before, because normally I've eaten, but this is lunch. I did not get lunch today. So I was going to show you, like, sling the MacBook. Doing. I'm not happy with my MacBook. Right now, it's basically propping up keeping my iPad from falling over. Just not happy about that. So as Uncle Al was saying, we're approaching the summer of love at 2.5, and really, the left, they're raising Cain. They are absolutely raising Cain. That's basically all they have. That's all they have. A Democrat senator went down to El Salvador. Just show you how they're just reaching for every damn thing they can reach for. A Democrat senator went down to El Salvador to speak to their president, spoke with their vice president to try to get the MS-13. No, not MS. Is it MS-13 or trade? Not one. Well, anyway, the guy is from El Salvador. He's in that El Salvadorian prison down there, and they were trying to get him back into the United States. You know, with all his gang tattoos and his gang name and his affiliation, all this crap. His wife's all worried about him. She filed a report on him for assault, being afraid of him here a couple of years ago, and now, oh, he's such a nice man. I don't know. Yeah, a surge protector is a good thing. Now, the other thing is, I got full coverage for everything on this unit. I over-insured it. And it's got, I mean, it's like a house. It's got coverage for this, coverage for that, coverage for the other. Anything happens to it, you know, it's like the old saying, I got my whole butt in good hands, you know. There was a, back in the 70s, they used to always talk about the good hands people. And Smokey and the Bandit, Jackie Gleason, said, I have my whole ASS in good hands. And then Burt Reynolds, the Bandit, said, King Kong doesn't have hands that big. But I got it in good hands with Progressive. It's going to come to the point where they're going to start arresting some of them. I think there really are. The AG, I really think they are going to start prosecuting some of these leftist people that are really like AOC, trying to teach illegals how to avoid deportation. I think that's going to happen. There's a bunch of stuff about Letitia James coming out. Hello, Mr. Whistle. There's a bunch of stuff about Letitia James coming out. All this, you know, she was doing some funny business on some of her loans, her home loans, you know. You know, and they're investigating her for loan fraud. And yeah, I'm eating rice, made a pot of rice. Trying to finish. Yes, right now we have my Jimmy's blocking it, but my wife's going to install a lock for the ball, the hitch. Wife's going to install that. And it's all locked. 2 sets of keys. And I appreciate any advice y'all give me. Ricky, you sound like you know what you're doing. Ed's Dance and Food. Hello. How are you doing, Gina? Pre-retirement days. Hello. How are you doing? Thank you for coming in. Well, that was a good meal. That was a real good meal. Yep. Well, The wife is a big kid. She loves those things. She loves it. Left a little bit of rice. Oh, and I used, I like the spicy ketchup. Use spicy ketchup with it. No, I'm in the process of trying to upgrade my technology to the best of my abilities. And I don't know. I don't know. I'm not good with technology. I tell people the internet came out in '95. And I got my second master's degree in '95. So I already had 2 bachelor's and 2 master's degrees when the internet came out. And I'm not up on all of it. And I do apologize about that. I'm just not up on it. So when it comes to technology, I usually get some young person to do that for me. And I know an awful lot about an awful lot, but there's an awful lot more that I don't know than I do. You understand, Melinda? There's an awful lot more I don't know than I do know. And I'm not arrogant enough to make out like I'm some genius. I was a lot brighter when I was younger before I burned out all my brain cells with stress. Well, hostile cowboy, if you're still there, I'm just, as Uncle Al would say, stop reminiscing. I'm reminiscing. I'm just thinking about all the BS that I've been going through with technology. They make you constantly change your passwords at work. I've got 10 or 12 different things I use. Everything's passworded. And I'm constantly having to, every couple of months, got to reset your passwords. I'm so tired of resetting passwords. I'm so tired of resetting passwords. I just don't know what to tell anybody. And I have people get on me. You can't have dead air. Every once in a while I tell this story. When I was a teenager, I had an FCC third class license to be a radio disc jockey. Had to go take the test up in Houston. I lived in Corpus. Elements 1, element 2, and part of element 3. Be a third class. That's in order to be able to be on the air. Back in the day, we had AM radio. I can tell you stories about that. So back in the day when I was in college, early college, I took a bunch of communications classes. I took film classes. I took video classes. I took all that stuff. So I was the technology person back in the day. Can you believe that, Lady M? But then we're talking 40 plus years ago. 40 plus years ago, I was the technology person. Back in the ancient days. Many, many, many moons ago. I'm going back looking at the stream. So I am going to try to get the video unboxing the mail call from my friend Joseph Moore done. And then I'm going to do my retaliation, because I told him, well, you send me something, I'm going to send you something else. So I'm going to send him something similar to what I sent KP Heathen. And Ed's Dance and Food, that would be my friend Gina from Jewels of Gina, and she is an educator. She's a school administrator over in the Philippines. You know, down the road, if I ever wound up on my own, I would probably be an expat, and I would probably go live over in the Philippines. Wouldn't that be something? I'm live streaming from the Philippines. Belinda's Country Living. Hello, Belinda. Did not see you coming in. I apologize. I'm going back and I'm trying to pick up where I missed. Belinda's got a wonderful channel. If you're not subscribed to my friend Belinda, please do so. Give her some love and she will give you love back. Yoda, you showed back up. I tell you what, I'm very unhappy with what's going on with my MacBook. I had to send a report to Apple about the problem. It wanted to send a report, so it acknowledged that there was a problem. And Uncle Al tells me I need to have a tech person do a reboot. So Tuesday when I go back to work, I will get my paraprofessional I'll get my paraprofessional to I'll see if I can get her to hook me up. And that's where I am at. I understand. I am Bush too. I am Bush too. It has been a day. So, I was advised to talk about April the 19th as the Day of the Long Knives. There was a point in Nazi Germany when, and actually before the Nazis actually took power, they took power 1933, 1934 is when they really got their act together. In the meantime, they were basically growing in size, and they were out marching around, bullying people, and they were picking up support from the rich folks. They were in the Depression the same way the rest of us, the rest of Europe was the American. Everybody was in the Depression, and 13 watching and 19 likes. So they had some issues. They really had. They had internal. There was internal power struggles amongst them, and they had issues. And they did a purge of the brown shirts, what they used to call the stormtroops, the SA. And the leader of the SA was a guy by the name of Rome. He'd been a hero in the First World War. He'd been an officer. And he was bumping heads with the other people around Hitler. And they had created the SS, which were the shock troops. They used to call the Schutzstaffel. And you had power struggles. Yes, my parents, see, I'm a late life baby. My parents have been married for 21 years before they had me, and I'm only child. So my mom was born in the 20s. My dad was 10 years older than my mom. He was born in 1913. You know. So but I grew up on stories. My grandparents were gone before I was born. But I grew up on stories about how my grandmother, my great grandmother, were good German women, how they used to, and they were from an affluent family, how they would make pots of beans and cornbread and coffee, and they would feed the hobos. They used to call, they didn't call them the homeless, they called them the hobos. And they'd ride the trains, flatbeds and the box cars and such. They'd ride the trains. If you heard of Boxcar Willie, he dressed like one of those old style hobos, purposefully, for his music and everything. May he rest in peace. And back then, everything was pretty much transported by train. They weren't flying cargo planes. And they did have ships, but we weren't importing a lot. Most of what we had, we made. So like we weren't getting like just massive amounts of ships with containers the way we do today. And everything was basically transported by train, pretty much by train. The 20s was the time when they were going from horses to automobiles. That was the 20s, the roaring 20s. And my father, may he rest in peace, told me a story. He was a teenager. He went with his father to buy their first automobile. They bought one of those Fords that was like a Ford, like a car, but like had a flatbed, so it was like a truck. And he went with his dad. They bought their first one. So, and my grandfather supposedly paid with gold coins. And I think at that time they would have bought one for $500-$600, an automobile. And he was affluent. He went and he paid with money. He had money, coins. So, are we going to go through another Great Depression? Are you prepared if we basically have the bottom fall out? Do you have food to last you a long time? What do you do if the water turns off? Do you have a pretty good supply of your medication if you take medication? You need to think about all that. Joseph Moore, how's it going, Joseph? You doing okay? Mike Crusher Reviews. How you doing, Mike? I'm just talking. I'm talking. Yeah, I was eating dinner. Had black Angus steak and some rice. Let me plug this in so I can get some power out of it. I do not like the fact I got a power station that I'm plugged into down below. I don't like the way that works where it just turns off on me. Having to charge my gear. Well, that wasn't good. If the bottom falls out, you'll go to Mexico to look for work. If you don't mind my asking, Enrique, how old are you? How old are you? I know you're not a kid. I don't think you're as old as I am, but I know you're not a kid. My oldest grandson had to do an essay on what he thought about the technology and kids using the internet. He received an A. 14 watching and 20 likes. Thank you, Uncle Al. Well, you're an intelligent man, Enrique. You're probably brighter than I am. I have been burning out. I've been burning brain cells for, stress and everything. I've been real bad about that. But for the near future, probably for tomorrow, and if I do on Monday, I will probably just use my iPad and my phone to look at the stream until I can get an exorcism done on my computer, because I'm tired of the damn thing acting up on me. I don't do well with stuff that I don't know. I really do not. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So I'm getting really close to 1900. I anticipate getting my video, my unboxing, or my mail call from Joseph Moore. I anticipate getting that up and running possibly tomorrow. I don't anticipate hitting 1900 overnight. But when I hit 1900, I'm going to write down the names of everybody on my last video that I just released. Might be the Joseph Moore video, the mail call. So if y'all lag on it, if you lag on it, when it comes out, leave a comment on it. Don't lag. Because if I hit 1900, I'm going to basically write down the names, and then I'm going to go back 4. It would be sad, because occasionally that happens. I've had it where, somebody left comments on 4 or 5 videos, but they didn't leave it on all 5. And I felt bad for them, and I felt bad about it. But that has happened. So make sure, and that way your name will be in the hat, and you'll have a good chance at winning. There's not that many. It's not going to be that many people in that hat. Last time there was 14. Mom of 4 boys. Hello, Rachel. Holly, I bet you were hell on wheels when you were young, girl. Would like to have met you when we were both young. Bet you we'd have had fun together. I used to like cheerleaders. So in all seriousness, and I've done a few little short videos on this, have a supply of bottled water. You can get the gallon jugs. You can get the 3-gallon jugs. Look at my last couple of videos about water. I did a short where I showed maybe 20-gallon jugs that my wife had refilled. We refill those jugs. And you want to have a gallon a day per person. Whoever's with you, a gallon a day. Half of that's going to be for consumption. The other half is for hygiene, cooking, cleaning, washing your face, brushing your teeth, your hands. Well, if we'd have grown up together, I would have defended you against your brothers. Oh, Lord. My wife's the baby of 10, and she grew up fighting her older siblings. She's hell on wheels. I tell you that. Small woman, but she's hell on wheels. Chuck E. Cheese. Happy birthday, Isaac. Happy birthday to you, Isaac, and many more. You were a cheerleader. Well, I dated cheerleaders. drill team. I was blessed. Hello, JC. Where are the party people at? JC, the party people are partying. That's all I could say. Softball and soccer. Yeah, I played baseball. I played baseball. I was a scout. Ugh. $10 in the house, 21 likes. Please leave a like. Can you say happy birthday again to Isaac? He just came to watch. Hello, Isaac. Happy 4th birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Isaac. Happy birthday to you and many more on Channel 4 and Scooby-Doo on Channel... I could go up with... I could do that. I used to do that with my little girls, We, and we did Chuck E. Cheese and... Oh, Lord, we did all sorts of stuff. But have fun. My dad had a fishing boat, and I had to help unload when it came in to put every 3 weeks. Yes. My pleasure. My pleasure. He's got his whole life ahead of him. Wonderful. Wonderful. So now I've got to finish getting my new trailer together, and I will do video. Gotta work on that. Everything's a learning experience. Everything's a learning experience. Gonna have to figure out what all I gotta do. And get all that prepped up. You buy things, you got more things. If you're going to be in a bug out situation, I guess, if you had a water well and you had some sort of septic system you could tie into, then having a nice travel trailer with 12-volt batteries and panels and an inverter, that would be a good way, something good to have. That would be good to have. It wouldn't be like you're out in the boonies in a tent. You'd have to have a hell of a lot of solar to run an air conditioner, though, during the summer. A lot of solar. And you'd have to have a big battery bank. A good sized battery bank. Well, it helps. A happy birthday song is copyright. Well, did I just violate somebody's copyright? I will try to give you some more love, Uncle Al. Well, we had horses when I was growing up. I had an Appaloosa mare called Squaw. My father loved Appaloosas. We had horses. We had a couple of donkeys. We had goats. The goats were a pain in the butt. We had chickens. We used to get eggs. The goats were a pain in the butt. They were constantly getting out. We'd get calls. Dad have to go try to hunt down the goats. He'd get a hold of the billy, and then the other goats would follow the billy. You know, they like to climb. They're always climbing up on top of stuff. Have to go up and try to get them down. Father got so damn mad. I can't tell you how mad my dad got at those goats. I'd never seen a horse with a nosebleed. Yeah, when the mares go into heat, you can breed them. I learned about the birds and the bees that way. Saw my father trying to breed a mare with a stallion. I could, I could tell you some stories. That man, God Almighty, I could tell you some stories about my dad. He grew up. He was from the last generation that grew up on horses and then wound up in cars. You know, think about it. 1902, the Wright brothers. 1969, we're landing on the moon. Think about that. 60 some odd years from first flight to landing on the moon. What have we done the last 50? Very little when it comes to space. Thank you, Uncle Al. Appreciate you. Yeah, my father had a man that would, we'd plant oats. We had hay, baling hay. You better wear some gloves. Those bales will cut your hands up, trying to carry those damn heavy bales around. I could tell you stories about that. Oh, and that was backbreaking. That was backbreaking. What in the world is that? Eh. Don't even know what sort of bug that was. Something flying. Anyway, we are 54 minutes into our 55 into our live stream. In the last 50 years, we've managed to convince some people that the earth is flat and the moon landing was fake. Well, that's true. That's true. Right now, all of the satellites that SpaceX has been putting up, Starlink, they're getting global coverage with some really good latency. That's going to be your new. That's your internet of the future. Not having to do like they talk about all the landlines that they put in, and the fiber optics and all the stuff that they're putting in. Being able to have a little box, pointing it north, and getting the type of speeds that they get, upload, download, and then being able to do phone, because you can do phone with it. You don't need any towers, but you're limited with your phone to a certain range. So that's one of the things I think they got to work on. The phone is, you got to be within range. It's like Wi-Fi. You got to be in range of your box, but you can be on the phone. And they're coming out with all sorts of stuff, like inexpensive, like these pads that they have that $150 for the Elon's pads, his phones. He's got all these stuff that he's putting out, and he's not gouging people. The prices, they're not gouging. I was reading something about it costs about $25 to make an iPhone. And then what do you pay for one? $1,000 or more? I'm using a reconditioned iPhone 12. This is a mini. I paid $235 for it. I guess they're getting ready to come out with the 17s. Nothing wrong with my phone. Why is it so small? It's like when I had an iPhone 5. It's the same size as an iPhone 5. Yeah, everybody's fighting for money. Yeah, artificial intelligence. Now, here's something that I learned. So they got this super artificial intelligence algorithm that they created, and they're using it to answer questions about space. So they gave it access to the latest on the space telescope that they have. And it was going through all of the files and all of the data and everything collected, and it may have found that mysterious planet that's missing, telling them where to look for it. That may have found it. There's some infrared and some, and they're thinking it's this big, way the hell out there, and they think they might have found it. But there's something to be said for artificial intelligence if you control it. But like you watch those Terminator movies where the AI, the artificial intelligence, finds us to be a threat and decides to wipe us out. That's scary. Musk has talked about that. Thank you, Dave. Be blessed. Take care, Dave. Appreciate you. Missing planet. They probably just asked the scientist's mother or wife, and she found it. Yeah. I don't know. Well, I will tell you, been a long day. I appreciate y'all coming on. I will have another stream tomorrow, hopefully. And I know it's Easter. Might cut it short if not many people come on. Family comes first. We did our Easter Sunday last Sunday with my daughter and her husband. They're doing it over at his parents' place tomorrow. And So when you get up in the morning, take your medication, thank God for the day, say the Lord's Prayer, drink your coffee, get right for the day, treat people the way you want to be treated, set an example, honor your parents, be prepared. Water, food, medication, hygiene, self-defense. Be prepared. And everybody, please have a blessed day. Yes, Jesus is risen. God bless everybody. Talk to y'all later.